Australian job confidence has been destroyed. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at an article which is discussing some job confidence data from LinkedIn. And I thought that's quite interesting. Now, I'm a fan of LinkedIn. I've gotten a bit sick of it in the last few years. It seems to just be turning into another social justice, venting place where people can virtue signal on LinkedIn. But back in the day, I actually subscribed to the premium edition. This was back when it was like $10 a month. So now those same features cost hundreds of dollars a month. So I could see how many people were at businesses, how many people were leaving businesses. It was actually really handy if you were looking at doing a project with say a builder, and you saw that their turnover rate was like 50%. They had people just churning through the business. It was actually really insightful to see, okay, maybe we've got to be a bit worried about this one. Are you a fan of LinkedIn, guys? We did the whole thing where it was a competition to see how many people you could get on your LinkedIn because there's a hard cap. And then you just get a whole bunch of people from overseas calling you. I think we had some success with networking events when we did the CIDN, Construction Industry Drinks and Networking here in Brisbane. We had one where we had over 100 people, and that was when you could really get stuff out on LinkedIn, and they've just really curtailed it back now. They want you to pay. So we've got this article. Well, let me know what you think of LinkedIn, guys. And, follow me on LinkedIn. I actually share all my HeiseSays videos on LinkedIn. I'm not afraid to put out my political opinions. I find it's an effective way to know if someone's going to be a good client or maybe a high maintenance one, shall we say. So, LinkedIn reveals how the pandemic has impacted finances and job confidence in Australia. So this is another index, another way of measuring data. And I'd say, LinkedIn may be a bit closer to the coalface than some of the others. If we have a look here, consumer confidence is still below 100. 100 is where, the number of people with negative sentiment is equal to the number of people with positive sentiment. So you can see now there are a lot of people in the negative camp, although it has gotten better. And then we also look here, we've got business confidence and conditions. Again, it's below the zero level. It's jumped up, but it's still weak. It's still weak, everyone. So let's have a look at this article written by Kathy Scantos from news.com.au. A new LinkedIn report has revealed the impact of the coronavirus pandemic has had on our finances, confidence levels about careers and job prospects, from millennials to baby boomers and the generations in between. Millennials, those in their 20s and 30s, born between 81 and 96. Oh, I make it. Those of us, I think, that are born, in the early 80s, we're kind of like a crossover, a weird crossover between millennials and Gen Xers. We're the best. Best. Yeah. Cheers to that. Everyone thinks they're the best. So, have been the most affected financially. The LinkedIn Workforce Confidence Index report released today revealed. This group had the highest reduction to their income. However, their confidence in future job prospects came out on top, the report's data said. So could that be because, we're still pretty young? I'm approaching 40. I'm approaching 40, but I'm not 40 yet, so I'm not in the mid-40s. And I could probably pass for a bit younger if I was getting a job. Because, we now know ageism is, it is a thing, and now it's been encouraged by the government, sadly. If you're over 35, you don't get those credits towards you. Which I understand why the government is doing that. Because when you're over 35, you should have more skills that give you a competitive advantage. That make you worth that extra $100 or $200 a week. Think about it like that, everyone. You should be. If you're not worth that little bit extra, then, I think there's some introspection that's needed. Confidence in the index report is measured as confidence in the ability to get and hold onto a job, about finances in the next 6 months, and the ability to progress in a career. While millennials are the most confident about finding a new job compared to other generations, they are also the most anxious about their finances, the report revealed. It could also be that you've got a lot of people, particularly those born after the 90s, that have no recollection of a recession. They don't know what a recession is. They've never experienced it. I was still a kid when we had the last recession. I remember it because my father had a small business in construction. He had a construction game, guys, building company that just took a huge hit. And he ended up putting a lot of pressure onto my mother for her mobile hair care business to keep bringing in the work. Now that I think back on it as an adult, she was doing really well in the 80s with her little business. But the problem was he kept comparing it to how much money he'd make on construction projects. So you think there's a little bit of a difference there? Well, there was. He knew what he was doing. It's called about having stretch goals. That's how you term it now, stretch goals. I hope my mother doesn't watch this one. I'll get a phone call. Baby boomers, on the other hand, are polling nearly half as confident as millennials about job prospects and finances during the pandemic. This older generation, born between 46, what about Gen X? We missed them anyway. Born between 46 and 64, had the greatest losses through their retirement funds, with more than half seeing their nest egg dwindle during the pandemic. I mean, could that be the other reason? It's to do with where you've taken the hit. Because, property has gone down a little bit, but it looks like in Australia, they're throwing everything they can at it. Everything they can. With the market in a competitive state, older generations aren't confident about their ability to secure work, the report revealed. Well, yeah, that's the issue. For someone my age, approaching 40, it's probably not as big a deal. But I think once you hit 45, then the ageism will come in strong. It will come in strong. What do you think, guys? Please share some of your experiences with this, because I haven't had to look for a job for a very long time. I had when I graduated from university, I worked all through uni, and then I had to look for work. But it was actually a crazy time there. As an architecture student here in Brisbane, you could get paid 50% above award. So there was demand for us. And then I went to the Architectural Practice Academy, which was a government initiative under the Department of Public Works. I left that early because I registered and I started a business. So I have to look for projects, which is kind of different. Frustrating. Frustrating. But so I haven't really been out there in the job market. I talked to other directors of businesses and people who I'd worked for as a student. I'm going, well, I'm managing to bring in this much money, yada yada yada. I've got these clients. What would I be worth to a business like you? And they're going, oh, this. And I'm going, well, that sucks. I'd rather have the flexibility to work for myself. And he goes, yeah, that's where the market is. That's just architecture, though, guys. But I mean, for older generation, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We hired some older workers. We hired one older worker to act as a mentor to the younger staff. And I mean, it gets to a point where you need to be at an age, or you need to be able to generate your own work when you get at an age, I think. Sadly, some people can't do it. That's what I want to. That's my goal, is to try and teach our kids is to be entrepreneurs so they can create their own work or their own business or something for the older they get. Because if you don't tick all those HR, diversity boxes, you're going to be at another disadvantage. That's not even mentioned here too. So the job market is now twice as competitive, with LinkedIn data showing that job applications have risen from 20 to 40 applicants per job on average. LinkedIn Australia and New Zealand Managing Director Matt Tyndall said. Baby boomers have been the generation most concerned about their career progression, suggesting that promotions and opportunities to thrive may be more difficult for this age group to secure in the competitive jobs landscape. Gen Z, the newest generation to be named, born between 96 and 2015. Wow, I can't. I still remember when I was tutoring and we had to get students to model up a Star Wars ship, and they only knew about the new movies, not the old ones. That's when I knew I was old. So, Gen Z has seen the most widespread reduction in working, with nearly half working less than they used to. They're also they are also struggling the most when it comes to their career prospects. Well, yeah, they kind of don't have any. The whole economy's been locked down, guys. Now's not the time to be pushing for that pay rise or that promotion. You've got to be happy to have a job with what's coming. This impact is amplified by increasing worry regarding career progression, with confidence in the likelihood of securing new opportunities declining significantly in the last month. Because this is a fortnightly report that they release, and we'll have a look at what LinkedIn has put together with what they're pulling this data on. So Gen X, those aged between 40 and 55, born between 65 and 80, is the age group even more nervous about their finances than millennials, the report has revealed. Well, because they're smack bang in that age discrimination group. You guys there that are between 40 and 55. You're too young to retire, but there's some businesses that won't consider you because they think you're too old. Kind of sucks. Really kind of sucks. I mean, let me know if you're encountering that, guys. It'd be good to get some feedback in the comments to see if this is actually happening, or if it's just hearsay of what I'm saying, what I'm hearing. But then you talk to staff. Like I had a mate who hired a whole lot of girls working for him as admin girls, and he went through one through the other. They were dodgy. They didn't care. They didn't turn up. They were more interested in their personal life. He went and found, post-war woman who had the kids and said, no more, no, I'm done with that. I just want to work. Best admin girl he ever had. Gen X are the least confident about their ability to improve their financial position and are most likely to have cut back or stopped saving towards a major life purchase, such as a house or a car. This shows that life-building plans might have been largely put on hold for this generation due to the financial impact of the pandemic, he said. I need to have a shot of... I can't say that's surprising. Mr. Tyndall said the data shows the pandemic is having a multi-generational impact across the board, even though the health crisis is impacting each group in different ways. Well, yeah, 100%. 100%. There should be some groups here where the risk is so low it shouldn't be affecting them to that great an extent. But, we'll be the history books, economic papers, essays will all be written about this in the future. And the question will be asked, was it worth it? Whether it's Gen Z unable to buy the home they're aspiring towards, millennials struggling to make ends meet on reduced wages, or baby boomers witnessing losses to their retirement funds, each generation is struggling with their own issues, he said. Whilst millennials are the most confident generation in terms of job prospects, they're also the most impacted in terms of income reduction during the pandemic. This has affected their overall financial confidence, which has stagnated in recent months, he said. Individual confidence in Aussies has continued to drop, driven by outlook on job security and strongly reflected in micro and small to medium business workers, the LinkedIn report reveals. The largest concerns when it comes to working remotely are working longer hours and feeling more lonely or socially isolated. That is a problem with working from home. And that's one of the reasons why I started doing YouTube. Because I was annoying the hell out of Rachel with going out and telling her oh, look what I read on this, and I'd be having rants around the kitchen table. I used to do it in the office. When I'd read something, I'd have, staff I paid for that were there working that had to at least pretend to listen to my ranting. That's part of the package, guys. Sorry, you got to put up with my rambles. And you can scoff and shake your head, but still. More than 40% of Australians surveyed admitted that working longer hours is a concern of working remotely during the pandemic. This was closely followed by feeling lonely and socially isolated when remote working as the pandemic has worn on. That's the thing. There'll be people who want to go back to the office, who want to have that work environment. I mean, even here, I've got my studio at the back. I'm literally, I have to walk outside to get into this space. Through the door over here, you can't see. I've got this little tiny nook where we've got the laundry, little room, and then out to that, it's outside. So I'm technically attached to the house, but this is a free structure. So we're going to move the other house aside, and this will be here. So I have an office space that I have to commute to. I had to walk down a flight of stairs and then carry my coffee cup back upstairs to make my morning coffee today. So even that is better than having like the kitchen table or even a room inside the house. You'd be surprised. Maybe people need to get some backyard studios made for work. I should design some up. That could be a good idea. People can build them a slab and some timber. You'll be fine. So millennials are ashamed of their finances. Research by Australian fintech Groupie found that almost half, 46% of 1,000 millennials surveyed, are severely affected by the COVID-19 in terms of their finances. The survey also revealed, despite the financial impacts the virus has had on them, more than a third of the generation surveyed is too ashamed to curb their lavish lifestyle, such as brunching in front of their friends from fear of losing face. Now, I wonder if this is the paid portion of the article. I mean, could this be true, guys? I mean, that's a third. Are they that? Well, yeah, how many people have got no financial idea and just burying their heads in the stand? Groupie revealed that 38% of their survey participants aged between 23 and 38 were too embarrassed to let their friends know money is tight. Well, it's not really something you discuss, is it? I don't think that's just limited to this generation. Are you going to tell your friends that money is tight, that times are tough? Well, I guess maybe you do when you go, I'm not... I guess I did when times were tough. I'm saying, no, I'm not buying around. Sorry, guys, I can't eat out. I can't afford it. That's a luxury. We're cutting back, you know, and the friends will scoff and that. And, well, if they don't want to hang out with you otherwise, if they don't want to go, you know, do something cheaper, well, are they really your friends? For a generation already facing high levels of mental health issues, it's concerning that COVID has put a new blanket of anxiety on millennials. Almost half of millennials are too proud to tell their friends they're in financial hardship, Jared Baker, founder and CEO of Groupie, previously said. Millennials are often criticized for living beyond their means as they chase the perfect life and share it on social media. With 46% now financially disadvantaged, the veneer of wealth and social status is starting to crumble down for many. What do you think about that one? I think that's right on the money. I can see that happening. People doing the Instagram, people just photographing their food, people putting this perception out about how they're living, which is quite detached from reality. Media maven Ida Buttrose previously said millennials in the Australian workforce lacked resilience and needed hugging for constant reassurance and also need to be thanked. The ABC chair, who said resilience was desirable and seemed to be in short supply worldwide, made the comments to the Australian UK Chamber of Commerce in London in July. Well, do you think that's true? Do you think that's true? Probably could. Snowflake childhood, Snowflake University, perhaps. So let's jump here. And this is the index that LinkedIn has, the Workforce Confidence Index, introducing a bi-weekly pulse on the mood of workers. Whether you're running a business or simply taking charge of your own career, these are tense times. It's easy to feel adrift when social distancing makes it hard to know what customers and employees are thinking or even how your peers are doing. In this article, we at LinkedIn are announcing the launch of our new Workforce Confidence Index. With 675 million members around the world, we're in a unique position to gauge the hopes, anxieties, and attitudes of the workforce in the US and other major economies, and to share this information with you. Why is workforce sentiment so important? British economist John Maynard Keynes provided an enduring answer in 1936 when he wrote about the importance of national mood, or animal spirits, in helping economies revive. See, that's the problem. There you go. Right, it all comes back to this. This is why Keynesians, guys, just start learning some Austrian business cycle. Seriously, animal spirits. Come on. Although it is good to see, well, now, psychology is starting to be combined with economics. So they're getting a more appreciative understanding of how people behave. We're not rational creatures. People are not rational. That's why you see greater savings occur when interest rates are negative. It's funny. So, as the rest of the 2020 plays out, look out for latest poll results every 2 weeks, along with insights about trends taking shape. Each edition of this new index will report on professionals' confidence about getting or holding a job, improving their financial situation, or advancing their careers. Detailed breakdowns will show how confidence varies across industry, region, age, seniority, and more. The rest of this article will highlight specific findings from the first edition of our Workforce Index, the US edition. Okay, so it's based on a poll of 5,102 members covering the week of the 1st of April to the 7th. And we can see here, we'll just scroll down here, you can see Workforce Confidence Index, least confidence to most confidence. You can see it in a good little graphic, just shows you how. So recreation and travel, they're the least confidence. Public administration, the most confidence. The civil servants, the ones who are forcing the lockdowns on everyone, but who are, well, the least affected. Freelancers have had their confidence shaken just as much as the currently unemployed. Wow. Well, yeah, because being a freelancer is essentially being unemployed. You don't have a steady job. You need to go out there and find work all the time. Active job seekers, those who are currently employed, are also not confident anymore. Millennials born between 81 and 96 are the most confident generation. The US South is the most confident region by a small margin. Senior leaders within organizations are slightly more pessimistic than lower-ranking individual contributors. So you can see here, confidence 6 months from now, executives project a bleaker view in the short run. And 2 years from now, well, there you go, everyone thinks we'll be better off. More than half of respondents are cutting back on their personal spending. Small business workers and self-employed professionals are slightly less confident in their workforce outlook than the US as a whole. There you go. Well, maybe just all of us small business people are bitter and twisted. Respondents are taking the long view as they prepare for their next career move. And I'll let you go through the methodology here. But we can have a look at the latest Australian data. And we'll just have a look here. So, key findings from the updated Workplace Confidence Index over April 1/7/13. And it's now May 18/31. Have they stopped updating it now? We're in August. This is 3 months old, but still. Because I literally got it from their site right now. Right now. Here we go. Australia, read the full findings. Or can I download it here? No, data and insights. Let's explore the data. So, I mean, there you go. You've got all the things. Let's have a look at Australia. Time frame. Okay, it's 3 months ending to June. Okay. Top trending employers. Interesting. Combank, Telstra. What jobs are available? Project managers, software engineers. What skills are needed? There you have it. You can download the data. Okay, so I'll link to this, guys, if you want to get some insight into it. You know, and if you become a project manager, guys, do your PMI BOC? Jump to that. That could be an alternative to learning to code. Project management. Anyway, let's jump here and let's have a look since this is the latest Australian data. The overall Australian Workforce Confidence Index is plus 20 on a scale from negative 100 to plus 100. Similar to findings for the last wave, 21. That belies a sharp downturn in confidence from employees at small and medium-sized businesses and an increase in confidence from enterprise workers. Australia's workers in the finance and construction industry in particular continue to see their confidence grow. Employees in education and corporate services, however, have expressed a dip in optimism. Workers in IT roles in any industry are the most confident in their ability to work effectively while remote. Well, what is the point of even saying that? That goes without saying. Their confidence has risen across all three key areas: job stability, financial well-being, and career outlook. Education professionals are getting less confident about their personal finance and career outlook. Just 10% think their income wages will increase in the next 6 months. I'm amazed 10% think their wages will increase in the next 6 months. I guess that's the advantage of being in a sector here. Confidence by company size. You can see here small to medium. They're going down. Mid is down. Enterprise is up. What do we have here? Confidence in remote working. I mean, yeah, how's it even surprising? I would have been shocked if healthcare services were confident that they could remotely work. And we have down here the confidence across industries. So finance is up, construction up, transport up. And we'll have to see. So no, everything in the positive. Everything in the positive. So guys, there we have it. There is, some insight into the, confidence, job confidence in Australia and around the world. It really has taken a battering. and how the different generations are getting affected. Where do you sit in this chart, guys, in these generations? Are you more confident? Are you planning for the future? Are you a millennial that's shooting ahead, or a Gen Xer that's kind of worried, or a boomer that's seen a lot of their retirement savings just disappear? Or have you not been affected at all? Let us know in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Thanks for everyone who's helped support the channel. I've had horrific audio issues over the last few days with Windows updates and equipment problems. The support allows me to go and buy new things as I need it to keep the content flowing out. And hopefully one day I'll learn how to operate it all properly and get it all working. But you know how it is. We're in a world now where Windows will just update and ruin everything for you. Anyway, guys, have a great day. I'll see you all in the next episode.